Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Hans, taking the confusion out of zeroing the Flir thermal scopes. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me again this week. So we're going to be zeroing the Flir thermal scopes. This is the PTS736. The directions and instructions are the very same for the PTS233 and the PTS736. So you'll be able to use this zeroing function for all three of them. But really the first thing is, we get a lot of questions from the Late Night Vision Show from listeners. I get a lot of comments on the channel. Hey, I just bought a thermal scope. How do I zero it? What do I use? What targets do I use? So basically all I use is just a plain cardboard box. As you can tell right now, it is daytime, bright and sunny. You just want to make sure that you're in a shaded area so you're not pointing the thermal at the sun. But I'm using a plain cardboard target 50 yards away. And all I use is tinfoil. I cut out a 3x3 inch square of tinfoil. This will show enough of a degree variance that it'll pick it up on thermal. It's something that most people have laying around their house. Now you can also use hand warmers, toe warmers. There's a lot of different things out there that people use, but I've got my target set up right now at 50 yards and I've got the tinfoil on it right now. We're gonna take our first shot, see where we're at, and then we're gonna start the zeroing process. All right, so I took my first shot. First shot was high and to the right, but that gives us a starting point we're gonna get down to, so we can get down to that main piece of tinfoil right now. I've got my helper right here. This is Macy. She's helping me out today. So all I do is I'm gonna stick a small piece of tinfoil over where that first shot is. I'm gonna pin it up with some safety pins. And then that way I'll be able to see it on the thermal to know where to go back to go down and to the right, adjust my windage and my up and down so I can get down to that main piece of tinfoil. So we're just gonna put a small piece of tinfoil on it now, and we'll go back and shoot our second shot. All right, so we took our first shot. We're gonna go through the menus on how to get this thing set up. We're gonna be going through the menu, so I'm gonna kind of tell you the instructions as I go through the menu, and we're gonna get from that first shot down to that second shot, or hopefully down to that second other piece of foil. So we've got our target downrange. This is at 50 yards. We're zeroing the Flir thermal scopes. This is the PTS536. Again, the instructions are exactly the same for the PTS233, the 536, and the 736. So this is obviously our main bullseye piece of tinfoil right here. Our first shot is high and to the right up there. So basically what I want to do is get that first shot, and I want to get it moved down somewhere on that tinfoil and get this thing close to zeroed in. So the first thing I like to do is I like to zoom it in a little bit more. So I'm gonna, with the right click of the arrow button pointing to the right, I just basically zoomed in, zoomed it in a little bit more. From here, you're gonna long press the menu button. The menu button is the round button in the middle of the up, down, and left, right button. So I'm gonna long press it, so I'm gonna hold it for about a second till the menu screen pops up. I'm gonna use the down arrow to go down to bore sighting, and then with a short click of the menu button, it sends us to our bore sighting screen. So this is at the bottom, you can see your windage and elevation. Your windage is your left to right buttons. Those are the buttons you're gonna use. And obviously your elevation is up and down. So to adjust your right to left, you're gonna use your left to right buttons on top of the unit. And to adjust your elevation, you're gonna use your up and down buttons. It's really nice to have a rifle sled when you're doing this so you can steady it as much as you can. I'm gonna just make sure I get it right on that, where I want that second round to go, which is bullseye. So that's where I want my second round to go. So I'm gonna start with my elevation, and I'm gonna click the up button until I get in line with that first shot. So I'm pushing the buttons now. As you can see, it is raising that reticle up. That height right there looks pretty good. Now with my right arrow button, I'm gonna start clicking to the right. And I'm gonna go right over till I get to where that first shot and that first point of impact. It's gonna take a lot of clicks, but I'm gonna get over there to it. All right. That looks good right there. So I just use my up button and my right button to get to my first shot. To get out of this screen, you're just going to push the menu button for exit. So we're on that first shot. What that does is, when I go to take my second shot, I will have to move my rifle, like I'm going to do now, move it down and to the left, and that's exactly where we needed that second shot to land, so we needed to go down and to the left. Quick and easy to go through the menu to do that. If you have any questions, just comment to the video. We're going to take another shot right now, see where that second shot goes, but we should be pretty close, so we're going to check it out. All right, we took our second shot. As you remember, our first shot was this little piece of tinfoil we put up here so we could see it. Down that second shot, right there. It's still a little bit high, just a tad bit to the right, but that's an easy adjustment. All we got to do again is you're going to do the same steps that we did through the menu, but real quick and easy. I mean, 3 shots, we're going to have this thing sighted in at 50 yards. All right, y'all, that's it for this episode. Zeroing the Flir thermal scopes. We did it on the 536 right here. The same instructions are exactly the same for the PTS233 on the PTS736 is the PTS536. We sighted in our 223 at 50 yards. I sight in all my rifles at 50 yards because the majority of my shots are between 50 and 100. So I know if I'm dead on at 50, that at 100 I'm just as close. I mean, almost identically close to the 50-yard shot. So thank you for joining me this week. Please check out the Late Night Vision show. We got this rifle sighted in. Got my girl Macy right here. Got it sighted actually in for her because she's gonna start practicing on it to shoot her first hog. So we're excited about that. She's ready to go. And so thank you for joining me this week. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, like, share. These instructional videos are fun for me because it allows me to answer a lot of the questions that we get from listeners and viewers, like I said, through the Late Night Vision Show podcast. If you have any more questions, you can comment to the video below. As always, for these thermal scopes, go check out Outdoor Legacy Gear. You can give Jason a call. If you have any questions about these, it's 877-350-1818. He'll be glad to take the time to answer any question you may have. But we'll get back to you next week with more hog hunting videos. Y'all take care. Keep making them bacon pancakes.
Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Get some bacon then put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes.